2026 at 6:02 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We will look to approve the agenda. Does anybody want to make any changes? I know I would like to pull fire department out of the consent agenda and move it to staff and board reports. And I would also like to pull out resolution 2026-147 for planning and zoning and move that to right after surplus items on unfinished business.
I would also like to pull out the police department report. If you want to just add it at the end for some discussion.
So with those 3 items pulled out, and with the updates that we had presented to us at the start of the meeting, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda and pay the bills of $402,453.01.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the agenda with pulling fire department, waste department report, and the resolution 2026-147, and approve paying bills of $402,453.01. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Elena is not here from the public school.
Oh, we are.
They are.
She wasn't able to come today. She has a family.
I was gonna say, I thought I recognized you. If he was representative, would you like to come sit up here?
So I'm Levi with the Osakis FA, and this is Johnny.
Hi.
And we are here to get approval if we could put bookmarks up into our at City Park. You want to kind of explain our purpose for bookmarks?
So our bookmarks are to promote egg literacy. So egg literacy is basically promoting agriculture and kind of abolishing myths about agriculture. So like chocolate milk comes from brown cows and things like that. So we built bookmarks and yeah, that's kind of it. It's like a little library type.
We have a picture here too. This is about what they are going to look like, or we already have them built. Those aren't quite how they are and stuff. And we are wondering if we could put it, so there's a little book here by Osakis Park. We're wondering if we could put one there with your approval. We already got okayed by the school to put 2 on the school ground, one by the athletic complex and one by playground.
So are they put into the ground?
Nope, so it is, we took a 55-gallon barrel, we cut it in half, and we have the 6x6 post, treated post, that we're gonna screw them to, and we're gonna screw the post to the barrel, and we're gonna fill the barrel with dirt. So the barrel will be a flower pot too, which will also help like Kanat's class where she does floral and stuff, and she also has a landscaping class. So her class will help maintain it too, and they will all be maintained by the FFA / some of Kanat's classes too.
So they can be moved if they need to.
Yes, they could be moved.
Yeah, that was my only concern, just
Yeah,
basically.
they can be simply moved. I mean, take like a skid loader or something, and you could get under them and stuff and move them if they need to be.
I don't, you know.
I have no issue with that at all. And then you guys will just maintain the
Yep, that's,
literature in there?
yep, and then we have books. We're still trying to find books, but we have some, and we'll keep rotating and stuff as time comes.
Yeah, we're doing a book drive to get specifically agriculture related books right now. So we haven't collected a ton, but we're working on promoting it more to try to get some more.
So, well, in your promotion to get more books, as far as, I know, agricultural based, but are you looking for children's books also?
We're trying to go like all ages
All
too,
ages?
that way kind of can incorporate everyone.
Yep. Yeah, I have no issue with them going forward if somebody would like to.
I will make
do
a
that
motion to approve having the book barn come to Osakis.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to allow the Osakis FFA to put a book barn at Park Osagi. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for your time.
Next, project 102, EDA, Laura Osley
Hey, you can, what, yes,
from Bowling.
all right. How are you guys tonight?
Very good. How
Good,
about
I'm good. And I don't know what Angela included in your package.
you? Just,
Probably everything, she's usually, getting all those things in here. So just a little update on the Greater Minnesota Housing Infrastructure Grant. I think I emailed, Minnesota Housing 2 weeks ago again, just to see if they had any updates on the grant agreement. And they told us, Angela and I, they were hoping within the month, we would get, within a month, we'll get our first set of documents, and there'll be some paperwork and things like that. So still not that actual grant agreement, but we can keep moving forward as they're continuing to process. They told us to continue to be patient. And so that's just a little update on the grant itself. But in the meantime, we met with the EDA in March, kind of over kind of some of the next steps, and they had made a couple of recommendations during that meeting. And so that's what I'm presenting here tonight. The first thing was that they needed to get moving on a geotechnical proposal, and that's really to start to do those soil borings, because that was pretty important at that point in time. We want to make sure that we know what we're dealing with when it comes to the soil itself before any of the preliminary plot and all of that is put into place. So the EDA had approved for us to move forward on getting in front of you guys. This was what came back as the actual contract back for CDT to do those soil borings. Randy did call our office this morning, and as he was looking at the land itself, there was 2 additional borings he wanted included. You may be aware of where they were. Okay, so Paul Jurek, our engineer, did contact CDT. They called him back, and for each additional boring would be an additional $600, as long as they didn't have to go another 15 feet at that point in time for that. But it sounded like it was pretty important based on,
and it's the 2 city lots, down there where they were putting snow.
Oh, sure.
That he was looking for borings. We were wondering if at some point, if we don't need those lots, if the city could sell those lots, but we're concerned about a dump.
there was a dump there.
Yeah, at one point, years and years ago. So that's the reason that we were looking for the additional borings. Sure.
So the contract that's in front of you right now, you're gonna see is for about $4,500. You would add an additional $600 to, actually put $1,200. Yeah, $600 per boring to that dollar amount. They can get you a new contract. If this is something that you wanna move forward, they can get doing that. I know they wanted to have this work done before May 1st so that the farmer can start doing his or hers thing in the field itself. So any questions about that process or on that? So if it is approved, we can have you sign it, Judy, and then we'll just add that $600 to that dollar amount for that contract too. So that was the first request at this point in time. I don't know if you want to act on both of them at the same time, or if you want me to move on to the next
If
one.
you wanna do both your things, and then we'll take care of each one individually.
Sounds good. Yeah, and the other one that was approved during or recommended during the EDA meeting is to move forward with the wetland delineation. You don't wanna move forward on any, portion of the project until this is verified. Just to make sure that you know what you're dealing with in case there is an identified wetland and what the city would have to move forward with. So, Paul again went out and was able to get a quote on that from Inez, who was a local company. And they came back with their, with the contract that you see in place. And that was for a total of $4,000 for the work that they would be doing. Both of these processes, again, would just be allowing Paul and his team then, once that's put together, provide you with the information that was, and then we can start working on, really honing in on what you want for that actual, process itself with what that preliminary plot's gonna look like. We would wanna start that. There was one that was done that we utilized for the application itself, but that was very preliminary based on some recommendations through the EDA and that came to council. So now this would be the next step, just to get that in place before we start moving forward on things.
Okay, let's look at the geotechnical proposal first.
First one.
Yeah, look at it, for $5,700. the
Plus
borings.
the 1,200.
Yeah, the borings.
I will move on that.
And a second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the geotechnical proposal of $5,700 with Chosen Valley Testing. All in favor say aye.
Plus the 1,200.
Yeah, be a total of
Oh,
57.
gotcha, sorry. Yep.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we will look at the wetland delineation proposal. Through Inez.
Well, also motion to proceed with that.
And a second.
Motion has been made and seconded to move forward with wetland delineation proposal with Inez. $4,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Well, they'll get started, they'll probably get moving on it, maybe even this week already.
I was gonna say, yeah, it would be really nice to get it done before May 1st.
Yeah, absolutely, that was what the contractors were aware of that, and that was presented to, so, we can go ahead and once Angela has her signature on it, she can just forward it to me and we'll get it to both of them and they'll get out there and move on things, so, all right.
And I can take care of that either later tonight or tomorrow,
Perfect.
she can email it, right?
Perfect, yeah,
Okay.
easiest way, so, all right, thanks
Okay,
guys,
thank
happy
you.
rest of your day.
You too.
Project number 46, water and sewer EDU, ordinance draft. With the limited council that's here tonight, I am wondering if we want to move this to table it to the May meeting. Or do you want to proceed forward? Because this would just be an adoption of the ordinance, and then we would approve it at the May council meeting.
Oh, I kind of feel like we were far enough into this second round, same page to continue that.
Well, I know Stephanie,
My only concern is this really gonna be beneficial? Like, with the handful of people that we're actually gonna charge, is it worth charging?
Okay.
approximately do you remember what the numbers were, Angela?
You know, I
I
I
understand
wanna say it's 12 or 15 or something.
I understand the concept behind it 100%, and yes, they have done their work, so I 100% will stand behind them. I just have concern of, is it really worth making the charge, like, is it really gonna make a big difference if we now decide to start charging them?
I had a total of 12 on my list. But this recommendation did come from planning and zoning.
No,
No.
from the EDU.
Mostly EDA was
Yeah.
trying
Sorry.
to incentivize individuals to continue to work on their properties if they're sitting vacant, to do something with them, and that's where this discussion started. We did talk about vacant lots and that too, they've kind of said we're not gonna pursue that at this time, but it was just the vacant buildings or homes that aren't being utilized. I'm fine either way, if you prefer to.
And it's okay, because we can always back step at the May meeting too, if we got full council.
Sure,
I mean,
that's fine.
because we're not adopting anything tonight.
So we don't really need to act on it, we can just table
And
this.
what this is just a draft, so if you're okay with the language that's in there, what I would do is I would make sure that it's publicized for the next meeting, and then that's when there'll be a meeting, and that's when we would officially decide to move forward.
Sure, yeah.
So whether you table it and make the decision next meeting, and then that hearing's in June, or you do it now, and then that meeting in June would be the decision. Or I mean, May would be the decision, so either way. Yeah.
And like I said, I'm fine either way, I trust that they've done their due diligence, that's my only concern is it really gonna make an impact? I don't know. I mean, we can try it, absolutely.
Then I would need a motion to move forward with the adoption of the ordinance change.
I will make that motion.
I was second.
Motion has been made and seconded to move forward with the adoption of ordinance change 146 at the May meeting. All in favor say aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Troy's not here, so we'll start the next one with the fire department.
Is he coming or?
I don't,
He did have a couple of things I can mention after Craig's.
All right, well, good evening. You got our list of calls. We had 4 calls for the month of March. Coming up May 3rd is our pancake feed fundraiser at the community center. And then on May 11th, we'll be doing the mock crash at 12:30 down at the boat landing for the high school. That's the same day as they do their cleanup around town and that, with the beautification and that. They'll be doing their painting and whatever they've got on their agenda for that. At our meeting last month, we did get notified, Mark Parmalou's will have 35 years on coming in this summer, and then Ryan Larson will have 22 on in the fall. And they both said that they're gonna tie it up this year. So we're gonna get our letter put together, start looking for some applicants and proceed with that. Sounds like both of them are not gonna jump to retire until we've fulfilled the spots and got that taken care of, so they'll be here for that, so. The other one that I had mentioned earlier is, it sounds like we'll get with Steph and that and with Boy Scouts, but the smoky sign for the fire danger at Lions Park was put in 5-6 years ago by Jacob Wool through the Eagle Scouts project. And then after he moved on, Calvin took care of it, and now with Calvin now in law enforcement, just looking for, between myself, I did it a couple times, I know Travis has done it, just a few people, and maybe the scouts we get a few that wanna take over it, and,
absolutely.
and I'll talk with Chad too, because there's gonna be times that it changes in the morning, maybe I can shoot him a text at 9, say, hey, can you run down there? It's just a combination lock on the side, and the signs are all right there, you pull some paddle locks, you pull the signs out, and you flip it right back up, so. But I know down the future, if you wanna pursue it further, there is options of going with digital signs and that, they could be ran from wherever, but at the moment, it's power and more to get there, and more upkeep and everything else.
yeah, we'll see if we can come up with some kind of schedule.
But also know where she said if
Absolutely.
they're meeting tonight at the community center or whatever, I can, when we're done here, we got training, but I'll try to sneak back up there and
That'd be amazing.
talk to them, and then they can talk about it a little bit and.
Yep.
It's usually about 9 o'clock in the morning is when the DNR updates their website. So,
Okay,
but
and if you wanna just let Angela know, by email, if the scouts decide to do,
Okay.
and, then we can work with Chad and you guys to get
Okay.
something figured
and I'll
out.
talk with Chad too, I was gonna catch the fuse here tonight, so,
Sounds good.
all right,
Okay,
Thank you.
thank
thank
you.
you.
Project 24 liquor store.
So, let me just go over his packet here. In the packet, he had some information about this asphalt paving. As I mentioned, I requested that he talk to the committee about it because he didn't wanna make this bid public, and I said, well, if it comes to the council, it's public at that point, so it'd be best if he met with your group, and had that. So he said to me today that he was gonna wait until Mark Lee gets him a bid, and then go over both of them, 'cause he's supposed to have one in a couple weeks. Other than that, he said one other thing that he wanted brought up was that the e-tabs for the POS system, they're working with a gambling organization that's gonna cost $2.50 per game to have them loaded on these e-tabs. And they would hit a max billing of $125 a month. So the max he could charge a month is that. He said about 6 times a year we'd probably meet the max. Otherwise it's $2.50 a game. He originally thought that this wasn't gonna cost anything for us to have e-tabs, but the expense that they have to do with buying these games in the POS system is charged then for loading it to, I guess, the establishment. So he wanted you guys to know that if that's a deal breaker to do the e-tabs or not, but I wanted you aware of it if you had any concerns.
But in the end, the E-tab POS system is probably gonna be a benefit to him as far as this overage and shortages too, correct?
It's supposed to help with
Yeah.
keeping that more accurate, I guess. Yeah.
So do they have to sign a contract for a certain time?
You know, I don't know if he had that, we had to have that policy in place that said what we were gonna do. I don't know if there's a time frame.
Okay.
I don't know that answer. I'm sure they have some expensive, they want you to do it for a certain time, but I don't know if he's signing one on that behalf.
How quickly was he looking at putting that in, you know?
I know he wanted to have the policy and then he was gonna work with them, so I don't know how long he's looking to have it done. I could ask him the question if you want. We can come back to it later in the meeting, text them.
But the max, he said, would be $125 a month.
Yeah, so it's $2.50 a game, the max is $125, so he's saying like normally the amount of games they go through, he's saying they meet that about 5 to 6 times per year. So about half the months they would meet enough games that they would reach that max.
My personal feeling is I don't think it would be a deal breaker. If it's gonna help us try and,
Cost of doing business.
I was gonna say, I would think that hopefully what it would save us in the errors that might happen would be beneficial. So do you need a motion for us to let him proceed with that, or just,
I
okay?
don't think it's necessary, he's going forward unless that's something you wanna stop it for.
No, I don't, we should stop it at all. Then we will move to the park board. As we're all well aware, park board was granted, or was successful in getting a grant process, and during that process, we had to have, what exactly was it called, archaeology?
In phase 1, you had kind of a desktop review of archaeological study of the area was the first step.
Yep, and the DNR decided that, we needed to do another step in that bidding process. So now we have to have an archaeological review done, so it is, the project at the park has kind of been put on hold. I did speak with, the park board at their last meeting. There are, like 3 trees that are split that we weren't gonna remove any trees for the park project itself. But we discussed the split trees, and if it's okay with you, I'm gonna have, Lauren go ahead and get those out because of a safety issue.
Absolutely.
So I will have, him see if he can get a hold of somebody to move forward with that process on those split trees.
Seems to me.
Absolutely.
Do they have a time frame of how long this survey is gonna take?
No, WSB, our project manager from WSB is, looking for, people that might be able to do it quickly, but at the last meeting, he was thinking it's probably gonna be June or July, correct? Before, so the way things are looking right now, depending on the results of that, no matter what, the park project is probably gonna be put on until like next spring. Is our thinking right now, and that all depends what comes back from the archaeological testing, but yeah, if he can get it done until June or July, it's kind of, our year is pretty much,
Not shot at that point.
yeah.
That's too bad.
Because we had okayed them to go out for bids so that as soon as we got what we thought was gonna be okay from the DNR, so we could like right away get it out, but we put a stop to that, so there's no bidding out there, anything can't really move forward until we know what we got.
Certainly. Well, thank you for the update.
Motion to approve the park committee minutes.
And a second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve park committee meeting minutes from March 31st, 2026. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
One thing I did have in addition to that on the table was, said in the minutes, I didn't have to highlight on there, we applied for a grant, or we were gonna apply for a grant through Sourcewell for the plaza area, which is the concrete that Amber was working on for that city area with the bench, and then some picnic tables and benches. So Sourcewell right now has a grant out that is due April 15th. And we're looking to apply for that, so we have everything together, but they do need a resolution. Just approving that you guys are okay with us applying for this grant. The grant's $5,000 to $30,000 and we are asking for 30. We're gonna ask for the whole cement area and the bench, and then we're gonna ask for picnic tables that would fill the shelter, and then benches that would be around this splash pad, so we can use them anywhere in the park if we'd like, but that's our goal. So the resolution you have in front is just authorizing going forward with that, and then I would sign on behalf of the contract, so that we can put it together for the 15th.
So if we are not moving forward with a lot of the projects, will we still qualify for the grant? Okay.
We're gonna, because this is something that Amber was working on. It's completely separate from the whole process. None of that is in part of it, so this is something we're doing on our own.
Beautiful. I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-12.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 2026-12. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, project 312 beautification team.
She said she would not be at the meeting. She will try to be at the next one, but the one thing she would like to pass on is that we need to let the lifeguards know that the kids can jump off the pier. I saw some kids doing it last year, and I'm afraid if we don't get this under control, it could become a problem. So when we're talking to the lifeguards, we need to have that as part of their instruction, which I agree, we don't want.
Yes.
And even if we have to get some signage when the lifeguards aren't there, that's probably not a bad idea.
So I think we can just do simple as a Facebook post as well, you know, as you're out enjoying it, please remember to not jump off.
And that's a fishing pier she was meaning,
Yeah.
right? Extended it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct, yep.
project number 261, water problem. Since the March, meeting, at the March meeting, we had decided to set aside this water project or problem. Since then, Angela has gotten, replies from 2 more people. So we have a total of 5 out of 8 property owners. Do we want to proceed forward, or do we just want to set it aside like we did at the March meeting? Or do we want to take the time to talk to them?
I'm kind of indifferent about it because once we had decided, this really wasn't in our wheelhouse, then do we have to beg them to, I don't know,
Yeah.
I feel very indifferent about it, I get it, it's a problem, but is this a problem that the city should be spearheading, or,
In reality,
I don't know.
I was gonna say, in reality, we own none of the property. It's
Has,
property.
and I forget, Angela, and I'm sorry if this is repetitive, but have we had something like this happen before where we've had anything like this where it was not city property, but the city kind of took the lead on it?
No, I think we probably acted as kind of the middle agent, just getting everybody together, trying to talk about it. And I can remember a couple times with the dock stuff, and on K Street, they had docks over there. We got them involved and we talked about the issue, and they kind of solved it by, we vacated part of the street, they could claim the property, and went through that whole process. But it's just maybe an opportunity to talk to them. I don't know if the council needs to be involved in it, or if we set up a time for all of them just to be together and talk about it themselves. I mean, I could just invite them all up here one time and talk to them myself and just say, you guys see a need to do something with this, or do you wanna just let it be? They could do that on their own, with that being said, but nobody's taken that initiative to.
I'm just wondering, let's just say if we, out of good faith, a half hour before our next council meeting or something, just whoever shows up and maybe sort of facilitate it, just as a last ditch effort. I don't know. I don't wanna say, no, we're not helping at all, but
The
I
fact
don't
that we
wanna
sent
beg on
letters,
either.
I don't wanna also, now that we sent letters, you got back to us and now, no, we're not gonna do anything. I think that's a great idea, maybe a half hour before our next
And that
meeting,
would be absolutely fine with
hey, we
me.
just wanna see, this was brought to us, this was a concern to us, how do you guys feel about this? And just kind of pick their brains a little bit, I think that'd be wonderful.
That would be fine with me.
Yeah.
Should we just, I'll make a motion that we set up the, before our next council meeting at 5:30 to have some conversation with those that show up for that, and make a decision at that point, how it's moving forward.
I will second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to have an impromptu meeting, at 5:30 prior to our next council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Crosswalks. Last fall, I had brought forward about the crosswalks. I don't know if any of you saw. I had Darren order the signs to put down here on First and then down by Brothers Market. Chad has gotten a quote for a heat overlay type product for here on Central Avenue. So I'm gonna have him get a hold of them again and move forward with that. At this point, I believe that I do have someone who will donate and pay for the signs and that work. So it will be paid for. So if it's okay with you, I will go ahead and have Chad just get a hold of them and we'll get that done here this spring too.
Great. I just noticed they put them up down by Brothers.
Yep,
That must have been just
today. Yep, he just got them today, so he called me to make sure where I wanted them. So we started with that. I don't know if we need one up down on, First Avenue West. If we want to get another set there by Tip Top,
Wouldn't hurt for the summer, that's for sure.
so maybe I'll have him get 2 more to put up down there. And then hopefully this heat treated overlay down here will help too.
Nice.
And I'm just gonna have it done across 82, I'm not gonna do it on the,
Side street.
the side street. Okay.
Yep.
Project number 7, community center. Back on March 12th, Randy and I and Angela got together and completed some interviews for the new community center manager position. And at that time, we had 4 candidates. We interviewed 2, and we decided to hire Dan Russell as the part-time community center manager at an hourly wage of $15. And if that is okay with the council, I would entertain a motion to approve that.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the hire of Dan Wessel as community center manager at $15 per hour. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And then the nutrition services, people that handle the Meals on Wheels, is now requiring a lease agreement with us for use of the community center for the senior meals. Attached was a draft of the agreement. I did not see anything in there that was out of the ordinary. I know Angela reviewed it for us too and did make a couple of changes prior to bringing it to us. But if the council sees no other changes that they think should be made, I would entertain a motion to approve that also.
So it's gonna be an annual agreement, or just, we're in an agreement with them indefinitely now?
Annual, I think they have it, there was a time frame. I think every 3 years or something.
Yeah, right here it says, January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2029.
Yeah, okay, I see it.
I'll make a motion to approve the nutrition services agreement.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the nutrition services agreement as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Cleanup day is scheduled for May 16th at Osakis Liquor Store from the hours of 9 to 11. We'll be placing flyers on the website, around town, and on Facebook. STS, West Central, and Hope Douglas will all be present to help with the event. And I'm sure we're gonna be looking for some volunteers too. I do plan on being there that day. Do we need anybody else? Are you and Lynette planning on?
Yeah, and then
Spearhead.
the Lake Association will have a few people, they said too, like last time. Census Serve will have their individuals, and then we're checking with the Lions to make sure we haven't had an answer from them, but usually they have somebody there, some individuals there to help. So, should be good.
Flyer looks very nice.
Surplus items, last month we gave Chad the okay to sell the black police truck and the SUV. And they were both sold at auction. Attached is what they went for. And this money then will go back into their capital outlay, correct?
Yeah, that minus the expenses
Yeah.
to sell, yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Is that a sad day for you, no more white vehicle?
No.
Oh, goodness.
I would like to look at planning and zoning's resolution 2026-147. And this is an ordinance amending section 31-11- or sub 3 of the city code relating to permitted signs. And what they did was, they're coming to us, that permitted signs shall not exceed more than 12 inches from a building's wall surface, and previously was 4 inches.
Yeah, a lot of signs we're seeing are actually thicker now, so.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-147.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve ordinance or ordinance number 2026-147. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Six 321.
We go through the minutes.
Yeah, we didn't approve them in the consent, so you should.
I'll motion to approve the planning and zoning minutes from the March meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve planning and zoning minutes from the March meeting. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We'll need to approve, going back a step here, we'll need to approve the minutes for the EDA also.
Make that motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second that as well.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve EDA minutes from the March 23rd meeting. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project 321 Visitor Center. Last year, the Visitor Center operated on a part-time basis as funding was available to cover staffing costs. The city requested contributions from local organizations and gambling to assist with these expenses. We have a list of donations that we received last year. Council received the visitors list for 2025 at the March meeting, a motion to postpone a decision until the April meeting. Do we wish to operate the visitor center in the same way as last year? I would say budgetary. If we have the money available through donations, I don't mind having the visitor center open and available, but I don't want to take money out of our budget to fund it.
We didn't budget, is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, we only budgeted what we received in donations when we finalized the budget last year.
Now, are you guys here on behalf of? Okay.
No, we're just wondering, last meeting you kind of made it sound like you were thinking about closing it. And that kind of, we have applied for a grant for a microfilm reader, which is rather spendy, thanks to Sherry who did the grant. But it's like, well, you know, if it's not going to stay open, you know, I mean, we don't want to try to raise the money to purchase something that large.
Right.
So,
And I know last month we had the schedule too, as far as when the bulk of people were coming in and out.
well,
And so I don't think that you want it open as much as it was last year.
Well, right now we have Jackie that will be returning, Anna will not be returning, so I have to look for another person probably to fill all those hours, or we cut back and, you know, she works, and if the Heritage Center individuals fill in some of the days and maybe we have it open the busier times. Because there are some days that were rather slow, almost all the time. Of course, there's always gonna be sporadic people that do come, right? But we could do that and just go off of how many donations we get, and if I get so much, we look at how many hours we can make it work for the summer and go from there.
Is that something that you guys would possibly be willing to help cover as well?
we have in the past, like a dozen times last summer, somebody from, has volunteered to cover. And we discussed this at length, at our last meeting also, since it was the next day. And we would more than likely like to sit down with you guys and work, something out too on how, because Jackie has helped us an awful lot, doing some things for us. So, and, I
I
don't.
think she was willing to do work for others as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think some guidance from whether it's chamber or the city or whatever, I mean, helping out with things, I think she's willing to do that, she has some guidance and stuff too, so it's an asset, I think, to some of these organizations and the city as well. And I think that I've volunteered some of those days too, and it's amazing the people that stop in there and what they're looking for, and so it's kind of a drawback to not have that available in the summer when people are coming off the trail, or people are downtown looking for antique stores or TikTok, or, I mean, I don't see a negative as long as it can be funded, but I agree, I mean, maybe the hours could be different.
We did talk about maybe not being open every day,
So,
like maybe Sunday and Monday, they're not open or something like that, or
okay.
a couple, just anything to help come back.
Well, then making sure that it is open for something like Memorial Day, Labor Day, 4th of July, like those nice big travel holidays, but
Right, and I was at a council meeting one time and I had asked them, if, they use the gals down there, and one gentleman had said, no, they didn't, because, they just didn't. And I said, well, if you ask them and tell them what you actually want them to do, they're willing to help you. And, like the parade or Taste for Osakis or, whatever, stuffing envelopes, making phone calls, they're willing to do it. So, but yeah, if, we can sit down with you and decide that, we would be more than happy to do that.
And in previous years, what hours were we open?
10 to 3, other than Sundays was 11 to 2. That was a shorter time.
Okay,
10 to 3.
and Sundays and Mondays were pretty slack days as far as on the schedule that we saw, right?
Or even like Wednesday through Saturday probably,
I mean, you can the budget, yeah. The only other thing we did have is the sign that we have a pole that says open that we put out. And that bracket is not on the side of the building anymore. So if that could, we did talk to Randy, and I don't know, did he mention?
It got replaced twice last year. It got replaced twice last year,
Yeah.
and it broke 2 times, so.
Well,
It's broke again, so we're aware of it, yes.
well,
I don't think they make the bracket as good as it used to be, I don't know, but.
that, and I think it's part of the siding
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Is an issue because the siding's pretty open. So, but no, we're willing to help keep it open and work with you also.
I was gonna say, yeah, cause we did plan on having it open at times this year anyway. I mean, we are looking for funds to do that. But I don't know what would be best if Randy wants to get involved with it, or should I just have them deal directly with you and Jackie as far as some type of scheduling?
Well, Jackie and I can work on it as long as we find out what kind of funding we get. We did send out some letters after last meeting, but I haven't heard from anybody, but typically that's usually in May before we hear anything. So it might depend on that. We can work with Jackie, and I can reach out to Randy, and we can just work on what we wanna have. I will mention the thing about them doing work for us. I have had Jackie do things that we can have her do. And I've also reached out to the chamber to say, have her do some things for your events, and they sometimes do, they sometimes don't. Sometimes they wanna do their own thing, so they don't wanna have somebody else taking care of it, so they know that they're there and available for them to help them if they need something. But I can work with Jackie and Randy when I find out how much funding, and the next meeting I'll update the council what we've received, if anything, go from there.
If there's any questions, you can reach out to me also. Okay. So.
thank you guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much.
And Jackie is returning, so I would entertain a motion. Angela's looking at getting her $1 an hour raise. Is she at 14 or 15 or what is she at now?
I think it was $13.50, yeah,
Okay.
$13.50.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve $1 increase currently for Jackie Schultz returning as staff at the Heritage Center. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And I would entertain a motion for Angela to move forward to request for funds for donations from organizations. You want that, Angela?
Sure, I already did it, but.
There you go. Let's do it.
Make it official.
Motion is made and seconded to approve, Angela requesting donations for staffing of the visitor center. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys, we appreciate it.
Number 286, donations. The city received donation funds for the first responders, fire department, and Osakis beautification. These donations help keep programs operating in our community. Donations are very much appreciated. We are thankful for the community's support and generosity. Attached, I have a resolution to approve those donations.
Motion to approve resolution 2026-10 for the donations to the city for the first responders, fire department, and the Osakis beautification.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 2026-10 for donations to the city of Osakis for the purposes as listed for the first responders, fire department, and Osakis beautification. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 310, Black's Resort blocking Lake Street. Black's Resort will be putting in the docks at the end of April or into May. They're requesting to block Lake Street on Saturday to put in the docks. Angela will send a notice to the council when the date is set. And yes, please.
Motion to approve based on what the date that they feel works out for everyone.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded to allow Black's Resort to block Lake Street to put in docks on the date that Angela will be notified of. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Project number 140, Todd County Hazard Mitigation Plan. Todd County sent a copy of their hazard mitigation plan to Chad and Craig Dropic for their input as emergency managers. I also reviewed their hazard mitigation plan. I don't see anything wrong. I don't believe that Chad or Craig had any problems with.
No, they got back to me, they were fine with it, yeah.
Attaches a resolution for us to review and consider the adoption of the plan, which Todd County requires, correct?
It works a lot like the Douglas County one, you adopt it, and if something would happen, then FEMA can come in, and there's kind of rules set out, so you get reimbursement, yeah. Just we're lucky we get to be in 2 counties.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-09.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve resolution 2026-09. The 2025 Todd County Hazard Mitigation Plan, should that be 2025 or 2026?
I think it was actually done in 25,
Okay.
yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Resolution carries. Project number 263, Police Union, LELS. LELS union has sent notice to start negotiations for the 2027-2028 contracts. I'm all for that. So tell them they can proceed, and if you wanna let the other two, unions know that we would be willing to start looking at supervisors and is it MAPES?
Ask me,
Yeah, ask me.
yeah,
We'd be willing to start looking at those also.
okay.
Project number 444, wastewater project, Nero Engineering.
Should have been on the table, it's just a bill for services.
Cover sheet, but I don't have a,
That's all I had to.
Does it have the back on?
no,
Sorry, that's part of my fault. Packing. Didn't do a double send. There, you can look at it. This is how much it's for. I told him that I need to have him earlier next time, cause he's kinda always last minute.
I'll make a motion to approve the Nero Engineering invoice number 1467 for $19,677.50.
Second.
motion's been made and seconded to approve invoice, Nero Engineering invoice 1467 in the amount of $19,677.50. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Also, we have a, WSB bill, regarding the Main Street reconstruction project. Did you guys get a copy of that?
Might have been with, it's 49, but it might have been pulled out because we had our other meeting, so it's confusing because I have the same information both.
Yeah, I guess mine is, my packet is.
Motion to pay the WSB bill.
I will second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve WSB invoice R 32854-000-3 in the amount of $7,418.25. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And finally, already asked us to pull the, waste department report.
Well, the only thing I had was, so, and I don't know how far, I don't know, Stephanie, if you were on at the time, but I'm struggling with this police vehicle not being,
Okay, so you didn't want waste department, you wanted police department.
police department.
Okay.
Yeah, police department. So just a little background, it was September 9th of 2020 when we had an issue. The council wanted to have a police presence, and it was brought to the police chief, and there was, I'm struggling with the words for it, I don't wanna get ourselves in a jam here, but there was a discrepancy in how it was presented to the council and how it was completed at the end. And we were given the police chief instruction to have a lettered up police vehicle to have some presence. So I feel like it's nobody's fault, but it's like, that was the perception and we didn't give him any other direction. So I just kind of have a problem with it. And if we don't want to have a strong police presence and in our community, then I think maybe their budget should reflect it. I mean, I'm struggling with it, and, you know, I just have a few notes. Do we want to serve and protect, or do we want to just have enforcement? I think we want to serve and protect, and which makes that more visible in our community. We had, this was a huge issue, and I don't know if you were on the council at this time. And I'm not gonna go into detail because it could really get us in a jam, but there was almost a closed meeting over it, just based on the non-transparency of it. I'll just leave it at that. And so I was just really disappointed that it wasn't taken care of uniformly in the police management. That I feel like it just got skirted by us.
Okay, so you want a strong police presence with big letters on a police vehicle?
Yeah.
Is them not being around not a presence also?
Oh, for sure it is, but I just feel like, why are we trying to have them hide in our community? It's not, like, I didn't even notice until I was going to work one day and I saw just a black truck and I thought it was just sitting by the road. You cannot tell that it is a police vehicle at all. So if someone is having an issue and they're trying to find a police vehicle in our community, it was staring right at me and I didn't notice it was the police truck. And again, we have a different council, and if everyone thinks differently, that's fine. I'm just really disappointed that this is how it ended up based on the issues we had with it last time. I would have thought it would have been lettered up front and center because it was an issue last time. And
you know, and here too, in my short time on council, of all of our departments, why do I keep hearing about the police department? It's always the police department.
yeah,
The distrust-
I'm not gonna disagree with you.
Okay, but then so you feel that they are not doing justice for our community? I mean, they're not serving our community well enough? Is that the problem? Because now me as liaison to the police department, if there's a problem, I need to be aware of these problems so that I can help our community address those problems.
Yeah.
I have not had anybody talk to me about my boys at the police department. Not one person.
Specifically referring to this, and I did message you about this,
Yes.
and you said they do have the right to do this, and it went.
And if we were the only police department in 30 miles of here that did that, like we have done the last police truck, I would say, okay, you know, I don't care, we don't need to set a precedent, we can have it lettered. We are not the only ones. Todd County does it. Long Prairie has it. Alec has it. They've all got vehicles marked like this.
We're not like those.
Well, how you.
Doesn't the sheriff that lives on Lake Street, isn't his?
Just like this one.
Okay, that's what I thought. I will be honest, it doesn't even faze me whether it needs to be marked or unmarked, I'll be honest. I see them, like, I know where they park usually, and I usually see them pretty relevantly where they are. I mean, even my daughter rode her bike yesterday, she's like, I'm being stopped and took a picture of somewhere where they were sitting, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not avidly watching you bicycle. But I can see it both ways. I mean, yes, having it lettered, it is nice because you know for sure that is who you are going to, but I also like the fact of non-lettered because I mean, if you're doing something wrong, you're gonna get caught no matter what, whether it's lettered or unlettered.
I feel like, it's unfortunate we don't have the other two council members, because I think it should have been.
And you know what,
a
honestly-
full council decision.
And honestly, we can put this off till May and we can discuss it again in May. I have no problem with that.
Okay, I think it warrants conversation, and I don't wanna beat a dead horse, it was just. And I know you weren't on at the time, and I'm not gonna get into the details, but it was some lengthy, uncomfortable conversation. I'm just gonna leave it at that, cause I'm not getting anyone into trouble about what happened, so. I will motion to table this till the next meeting if we have full council.
I will second that.
Motion is made and seconded to table till May, discussion regarding the Osakis Police Department. All in favor, say aye.
Alright.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And I just wanna mention, just so you guys have, I did put budget stuff on the table, savings account stuff for you to cruise through and look at, fun reading. And we haven't finalized all of our stuff for the audit, so any adjustments for 2025 are not included in this yet. I'm hoping that'll be done this month, so that in May we have the final audit, so then we'll have a new one.
And if there's nothing further, I will adjourn. Motion is made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Like I said, I came at the